In a shocking turn of events, China has delivered a devastating blow to the U.S. economy, leaving America reeling from the consequences. The once mighty dollar has crumbled, sending shockwaves across the global financial system. As the U.S. struggles to regain its footing, China is seizing the opportunity to assert its dominance and reshape the world order. The U.S., once confident in its economic supremacy, is now grappling with a harsh reality. The tariffs imposed on Chinese imports have backfired, causing a sharp decline in shipping volumes and leaving American factories suffocating under the weight of unsold goods. The consequences are dire: empty shelves, idle factories, and a looming economic crisis. Meanwhile, China has been quietly executing a long-term strategy, carefully shielding its currency from the chaos sweeping global markets. The yuan has remained remarkably stable, slipping only marginally against the dollar. This calculated move has allowed China to inject a massive stimulus into its economy, bolstering domestic demand and keeping its industries thriving. As the U.S. flounders, China is strengthening its position as the world's leading economic power. The numbers are staggering. China's exports have surged, its trade surplus has ballooned, and its economy is growing at an unprecedented rate. The once almighty U.S. dollar is now facing a serious challenge from the rising yuan. But what does this mean for the U.K., caught in the crossfire between the U.S. and China? The answer is far from simple. The U.K. is under pressure from the U.S. to sever ties with China, but the economic reality is stark. China is an indispensable partner, supplying critical components and goods to British industries. Cutting ties would be a catastrophic mistake, leaving the UK vulnerable to economic shocks and supply chain disruptions. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has made it clear that the UK will not be swayed by US demands, instead opting for a pragmatic approach that balances loyalty with economic necessity. The UK is actively seeking Chinese investment, including a potential Shanghai IPO in London, signaling a divergence from the US's decoupling strategy. As tensions escalate, the global economic order is undergoing a profound shift. The US, once the undisputed leader, is now struggling to maintain its position in a rapidly evolving world. China's rise is redefining global trade, and the UK is caught in the midst of this seismic change. The stakes are high, with both sides engaged in a high-stakes game of economic diplomacy. The US is fighting to spin a narrative of victory, while China is quietly asserting its dominance. The world is witnessing a multilateral realignment, with emerging economies like the BRICS bloc increasingly asserting their influence. In this complex game of global trade, the UK is walking a tightrope, balancing competing demands and interests. The future of trade is no longer about ideology, but about pragmatic economic needs. As the world hurtles towards a new era of globalization, one thing is clear: the old rules no longer apply, and the future belongs to those who adapt and evolve. The question on everyone's mind is, what's next? Will the US regain its economic supremacy, or will China's rise continue unabated? One thing is certain: the world will never be the same again. The great economic shift is underway, and the consequences will be felt for generations to come.